Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome to episode 7 of Crusader Kings 2, playing as, Leicester, or the Petty King of Mercia now, and trying to become the Emperor of Britannia. We're currently in a war with Weiss, or Wick, or whatever it's called, to get a single county. That's still going on. We've just had an event pop up here, my liege. I've tried to make the Bishop of Abingdon realise what a benevolent and peaceful ruler you are, but sinister forces at his court have been hard at work to discredit my every move and distort my every word. I'm afraid that in the end, the visit seems to have done more harm than good. So my Chancellor's actually gone and upset relations with this guy, which is a bit of a pain. But there's not an awful lot that I can do about that. We're also involved in a war over in France because the place is absolutely falling apart. The spots are receding and the fever has broken. Am I really cured? So apparently I had some sort of fever, which has now gone. Didn't realise that I even had that. Not sure when that event fired. We do still need to try and get ourselves a male heir if we can. Our daughter has become a misguided warrior. Which is strange because she doesn't really have any martial. She isn't betrothed yet. We will need to go and sort that out if we can. Let's look at a couple more things. Can we cancel our ambition? No, we cannot. Can we change our focus yet? Not until November, so we're getting there. We still want to try and get a better Chancellor if we can. Potentially there is a guy there with a diplomacy of 12, but he's not going to be all that useful. Let's just have a quick look at the character finder again, and just see if there is anybody better. It's keeping the same list as before. I would really like this guy, but he just has no reason to want to come to my court. And his opinion of his own guy is far, far too high to do anything. We could look outside the realm, of course. We could go and search, pretty much search worldwide, although it's still limiting by saying it has to be my religion. If we just said my religion group and my culture group, it might give us more options here. So this guy wouldn't be willing to come to court because he currently holds a temporary title. You are the heir of somewhere. You wouldn't be willing to come to court because you've got no reason to move and you like your ruler too much. So, yeah, it is difficult sometimes to get people to come to your court just because the character finder lets you see other people. It doesn't necessarily mean they're willing to move. What have we got here? Managed to increase our opinion with the Pope. That's quite nice. What is the Pope's opinion of us? 64. Would you be willing to give us money? For the cost of a little piety? And he actually wouldn't be willing to... Oh, it's because we have free investiture. Do we want to change that at all? I don't think we can change that because we're not a kingdom yet. So once we form the kingdom, it might increase his willingness to give us some money. Because the Pope's normally loaded. The Pope normally has a stack ton of money. Yeah, he's got 450 ducats. So he's certainly not poor at the moment. So still trying to siege out Wessex here. It'll take a little bit of time, but what's it going down at? Minus 5.7 every 12 days. And their morale is currently 24.8%. So we're getting there. Once we've sieged out Wessex, that will probably be enough war score to take Wiltshire. And then we will have another little piece of land. And then we'll go and see who else we can pick on and what reasons we've got to pick on people. What's our levies like? Minus 10, not too bad. We're still only at 95% war score. That is really strange. Let's go wipe out his army and siege out another province. 99%. So close. So near yet so far. There's only 397 people in the garrison. Still only 5.3 per year for 12 days, though. That's still quite a lengthy amount of time to siege that down, but we should be fine. We could just go and try and smash that stack. Let's do it. We are breaking the siege. I'm not sure if killing 82 men will be enough to get the 100% war score, though. And indeed it is. So we're instantly going to go in, offer peace, enforce our demands, and there you go. It's ours. So let's get back into our own territory. And then we can drop our levies. So, where are we? Military. Drop our levies. Now, our domain size is now actually increased slightly. Not too sure what the formula is. Well, it tells me what the formula is there, but I'm not sure why it's actually increased. King rank, Great Duke. Or maybe it's Great Duke because I have 2 duchies. So because I own 2 duchies, I now get an extra domain. That's quite nice. The Pope's opinion has changed of me again. Now would you be willing to give me any money? Because apparently you really like me. No, you still wouldn't. After everything else, you're still an arsehole. So, we could go ahead and start a fight over here. We've got a claim on York, apparently. Not sure who the claim is for. So, if I were to go and can't declare war on you directly because you're a vassal. If I was to declare war on you, we'd be breaking a truce. But we'd be trying to claim York for our Chancellor. Now, the problem is, would that make him independent? It shouldn't do. Although it might be that he will just revert to them, and then we'll end up losing our Chancellor, which wouldn't be good. Because York as a de jure duchy, I think, is part of... where are we? De jure duchies. Yeah, so you've got York... Lancaster and Westmoreland are all part of... No, that's the Duchy of York. That's the Duchy of York. That's interesting. The problem is York only has... York only has 2 provinces, so I don't own 50% of it, so I can't even claim the duchy and then try and take York that way. We do own 2 of the provinces in the Duchy of Lancaster, but we can't grab one of the other ones. We can't break the truce anyway, so I'm not too worried about doing that at the moment. I have plenty of time to sort that sort of stuff out as we go along. There's plenty of fighting going on up there. I really, really would love to get a better Chancellor. I just don't know how we can find a better one, to be honest. Auto-saving there again. My culture. Search the realm. Yeah, it's still this guy. But I think he loves his king a little bit too much. What if we were to arrange a marriage between you and just some random person who wasn't necessarily my daughter? Just marry you to someone to make you happy. He would gain 0 prestige. And he'd be marrying into House Lowborn, I think. Lowborn males must marry noble women matrilineally, and he wouldn't be willing to do that because she's of unimportance. So, okay, could we marry you to... Well, we could marry you to our daughter. We've got a courtier here who holds claims to some titles. That's interesting. What about if I was to marry you to my daughter matrilineally? No, you wouldn't even accept that. That's interesting. Okay, what about this woman with the titles? Nope. Yep, he's really not interested, is he? So we'll leave that be. Now, I still have a daughter who is unmarried. Now, who could we marry you off to? Is there anybody useful that's around? The Count of Pisa. The heir to the West Francian Revolt. You are a Duke of Normandy. Marshal of Italy. Nobody particularly useful here, is there? The Doge of Venice. He might be useful. What would we get here? We'd lose a bit of prestige. We'll marry the daughter off anyway. Well, it's nice to make friends with people. We will get some decent... I don't really know what I'm doing here. It's getting a little bit random. Open council positions. We have lost our Chancellor. Fantastic. He's accepted that. So, we need a new Chancellor. And unfortunately, the best that we've got is a 12. What we could try and do is we could go into our intrigue and we could invite a noble to court. Does cost us a little bit of gold. Let's do 5 different ones. Will we have gotten anyone who's a better chancellor? Unfortunately, doesn't look like we have, which is a bit of a shame. Lots of people invited to court. Does anyone want to become chancellor? This guy wants to become the spy master. Nobody wants to become chancellor, which is... Oh, he wants to become chancellor, but good luck at that with a diplomacy skill of 3. No, it is definitely going to have to be you, I'm afraid. We're also going to give you an honorary title to try and make you happy, and we want you to improve relations somewhere, I expect, but where do we want that to happen? With the county of Chester. So let's go ahead and move you into Chester. Now we should be able to... Now, is it time yet? Can we choose a new focus? We can. So we're going to select seduction. So what this allows us to do now is... Oh, he's working well already. We can go and find characters. Now, what we could do here is try and find someone who has some really good stats. So if we look at the women and try and find someone who has like a really good diplomacy stat, for example, assuming we want to build on our diplomacy. She actually wants to become spy master. She doesn't have a lot of spy master ability. You've got quite a high spy ability there. You're an intricate web weaver. You're also only 18, which is, you know, sort of childbearing age. What we have the option to do here, she wouldn't come to court, but what we have the option to do is to attempt to seduce. Because we are Christian and we're not celibate, we can attempt to try and seduce her. And here we go, the chase begins. I've set my sights on Mildred, but the age difference could cause a bit of a scandal if court's gossip take notice of my efforts. But she's a little morsel. Start planning my next move, or I should seek other quarry. Let's just let's go for it and see what happens. Primarily, what we want to try and do is get a male heir. That is the important thing here. We don't want to be in a position where we sort of pass down to a female heir if we can avoid it. Seduction in the wild. I'm attending the festive outing with Mildred. Unfortunately, half the court is also here, and I'm having trouble getting any time alone with my amorous quarry. Seek an ally among her friends, leave her a note to meet by the stream, or flirt with her discreetly. Now, I'm not seen this particular event before, and it's quite possible that seeking an ally among her friends could end up with somebody blabbing. Leave her a note to meet by the stream. And now I've gained the trait ill. Not too sure if that's related. I didn't have to wait long for Mildred to show up by the nearby stream. We've spent hours chatting and laughing, and I do believe she's falling for me. I leaning to whisper in her ear. Confess my love. Make a lewd suggestion. Quote love poetry. Let's make a lewd suggestion just to see what happens. She jerked away with a shocked expression, exclaiming, "King unstable, you're old enough to be my father," and she ran off giggling. The virtue is strong in this one. Start planning my next move, or the chase has ended. No, stop planning the next move. She was apparently giggling. So we've got to be careful. The Earl of Chester's actually in hiding. It's like someone's trying to kill him off. Same event again. Let's leave the note and see if we get the same. Yeah, it's happened again. Let's not make the lewd suggestion this time. Let's go for the poetry, because why not? Jerked away with the expression again. Okay, let's carry on. Will we get any different result if we pick the third option? Or is it a case of it's never meant to be? We'll have to have a look and see how it goes. We're not getting any younger. We're 55 years old. Made sure to attend a minor event in Chester in the hopes of seducing Mildred, but despite my best attempts, she remains unimpressed. Need more practice. Let's carry on going. We might have to change our sights. You can try and seduce more than one person at once. And you can certainly have multiple lovers, which does help things out. Here we go again. So this time, let's confess the love. See if it does anything. There we go. I sure know how to cajole women. Mildred and I spent a night making sweet illicit love in her bed. I snuck off in the wee hours, leaving the court clueless, I hope. Love her and leave her, or fall in love with her. If we do the fall in love with her, what will happen then is she will be Jealous husbands, watchful parents, and eavesdropping maids, little bastards. By the Lord, I wonder if it's a wonder I'm still alive. Court Tomcat, which gives me +1 intrigue and +10 sex appeal. She now moves into my lovers section. So is my wife, oddly enough. The fever's gone, and I'm still alive. Having lovers will now increase my chances of being able to have a child. We could go ahead and attempt to find somebody else as well. So we've got another courtier here. Some of them do have a spouse. I mean, a few of them have a spouse, so, you know, you do have to be careful. You don't have a spouse. You do. And Chester again. You have a spouse. Try not to find him ones with a massive age difference. Let's try seduce another one. It's always worth trying to have one or two. She'll bring all of my seduction skills to bear on Agatha until I have her wrapped around my finger. Let's go ahead and see what happens. When does this truce run out, incidentally? Oh, we don't have the option to declare that war anymore. It seems like we've lost that claim. So we will have to go and try and fabricate some claims somewhere else. I made sure to attend a minor event in Chester so I could seduce Agatha. We've been dancing and conversing all night and she is clearly responding to my advances. Mead in my room, milady. Leave her yearning for more, or I'm affirmed now I can end this. Mead in my room, milady. And there we go, and we will fall in love, and then that just gives us another lover, and we'll just keep that going until we end up, hopefully, with a male heir. Preferably one that doesn't either get murdered or die of some random illness at the age of 16. A little bit of a shame, because our son and heir actually had relatively decent stats. So what would we like to go ahead and fabricate a claim on now? What could be useful to us? I think we should start thinking about fabricating a claim on maybe Essex or Middlesex. So let's go and take our Chancellor. He's only got an 8% chance yearly of fabricating a claim, but we'll see if he can manage it okay. And we'll just leave everybody else where they are. Let's look at the intrigue. We've got no plots going on currently. We've got this prisoner. Do we want to ransom you? What would we get for you? 10 gold. Yeah, you're not really worth it. You're probably a troublemaker anyway. Can't even remember what he's in there for. A large merchant caravan from the distant lands has arrived at the gates of your stronghold. Their leader, a jovial man of massive girth, pleads with... Ooh, strange. A jovial man of massive girth, eh? Pleads with you in a strange accent to grant them shelter from the elements for the night. Very well. Let them in. Or, no, these peddlers may sleep in the ditch for all I care. We're going to let them in. And we'll probably get another event for that. As evening falls, the fat merchant sits by the fire and regales you and the rest of the court with stories of his travels. His appetite seems insatiable, but as you do not wish to prove a poor host, you order the servants to bring in a second serving. Tell us more about this mythical realm of Hindustan. And we'll probably get another event there, and yes, we do. Dawn breaks and the caravan prepares to move on. The merchant insists on leaving you a gift as thanks for your great hospitality. He shouts a terse command in a foreign language and a young man comes forward. This eunuch will serve you well, the merchant says. His loyalty to you, his new master, shall be beyond reproach. That is very kind. I accept the gift, and a steward named by you appears in the court, or no, you may keep your servant. Well, let's go ahead and take him. So we've got a steward named by you. Our current steward has a stewardship of 17. Let's have a look for the new guy. Can't even see him. He's there. He is a pretty terrible steward, so he's not going to be replacing anybody. Not today, anyway. Still no better stewards in the realm. Is there one that we could potentially get again? Let's just go ahead and try this. Yep, Pope's increased his liking of me. Let's go back to that. Still you at the top, and you're still not willing to come into my court. Yeah, that's understandable. No, well, we'll keep that going. You hurry up and fabricate that claim, because I want to go and try and do something. We are still involved in this war down here, which we are winning, despite the fact that we are not taking part in it in the slightest. So that's fine, I don't mind that too much. How are we doing in terms of... our vassals and how much they like us? I think we might need to go back to Bedford. Once we've finished over here trying to fabricate a claim. Now, do you actually have any allies? Yeah, you have quite a few, actually. You've got a lot of strange relations, including a few petty kings. That might be a difficult fight to... do. Maybe we should pick on somewhere a little bit smaller, but we'll see how it goes anyway. And a child has been born somewhere. There's to my courtier. So not an awful lot to do with me. Let's get rid of all of these. We don't need them. Ah! It seems that my dalliance with Agatha has resulted in a child. Fortunately, Wigbert thinks that Cuthbert is his. So it is our child, but her husband thinks that it is his own. But oops, we lose one piety anyway. Now what we can do here is... it won't actually show us my child, or at least it shouldn't do. But if we go and find... It's not showing us her child for some reason. Start of the Viking Age. Okay, this is the annoying event that I hate as England. Which is where basically we're going to be constantly attacked by Vikings, and it's bloody annoying. But we'll deal with it as best we can. We will start to get some retinues in order to deal with that. Was that the right courtier? Was it this one? Ah, it's this one here. No, because you are 14 and you're just a friend. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong tab, that's why. Dipshit. Let's go in here, and it is you, and yeah. Cuthbert. So Cuthbert here is actually my son. So what I could do... Hasn't got the option there. Sometimes you have the option to claim the child, but not in this instance. Let's go ahead and see if we can actually start to get some retinues. We do only have a retinue cap of 270 though, which is really, really poor. So we can't really deal with any retinues at the moment. So what's going to happen is the Vikings are very slowly and systematically going to start appearing and... trying to loot coastal provinces, which becomes a little bit annoying. I'm probably going to have to think about moving my Chancellor again as soon as we can. We actually can. Let's go move you to Bedford, because you are the guy who we need to suck up to the most. Trying to claim the province of someone with so many allies is a little bit dangerous. It might make a little bit more sense to go for somewhere like Norfolk and Suffolk, where they don't have quite as many allies, which is probably what we shall do. And here someone that I hadn't even been chasing, but it's an automatic one. I've had my eye on a feisty young scullery maid with huge intellect for some time now, though she skillfully dodges the attentions of every boy and greybeard at court. I have her blushing furiously whenever I gaze into her eyes. Seduced and wrapped around my finger, this sharp lass could be very useful. But we will choose the outcome of that decision on the next video. Thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying Crusader Kings 2, and I'll see you next time. Until then, goodbye for now.